It's usually just me, and that's always pitiful. Well, how are you? You doing all right? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just, I can only say, wow, this is very, very impressive. I'm from Noblesville, and I'm a little envious, to be quite honest, because what do you have here? The Palladium, the Studio Theater, soon the Tarkington Theater, and basically we have SIDS, which... It is shuffleboard and karaoke, though. Come on now, that's performing arts. You have to admit that. So, good to be here. I'm always a little intimidated in Carmel. I should tell you that right off the bat. I always feel out of place, pretty much like a calico dress in Lady Gaga's closet. So I'm not sure how this is going. I am from Noblesville. Are you guys familiar with Noblesville? Have you been there before? Are you familiar with the town at all and the makeup of the town? You know, of course, it's pretty odd. It's half upscale, half redneck. It's... You go to a restaurant, you get like sushi and cornbread, and saw a BMW with a gun rack in the back, so it, not sure what it wants to be. Let's put it this way, there's way too many guys on the south side of Noblesville who look just like me. Are you guys like I am? You see someone with this look on a 20-inch bicycle, smoking a cigarette, are you thinking DUI? There can be no other explanation. He's not training for the Tour de France, as he is. So this is nice, just right up the road. This is very, very impressive. And, you know, I think Palladium, what a great name. I had to actually look it up, and it's a periodic element, which is probably much better than, say, sodium, because then people with high blood pressure wouldn't be coming. So this is... really very nice. If you've seen me before, and some of you may have, you may not recognize me because recently had a big weight loss. Had to do it. Had to have a weight loss. Had a health scare. Went to my doctor about a year and a half ago, and he told me I was pre-diabetic. I don't even know what that means. I'm pre-diabetic. If something hasn't happened to you, aren't you pre that thing? Pre-diabetic. Aren't I also pre-dead? Isn't that pretty much... what's going on there? So pre-diabetic, and he tells me, well, you know, he looks at me right away and starts the drug talk. Well, we should put you on the drugs. And see, I'm sorry, I don't try. If we have doctors in the audience, I'm sorry, the drug thing bothers me. The pharmaceutical companies bother me a little bit, only because I'm concerned. I think sometimes they come up with a medication and then find the condition it fits. Anybody with me on this? I mean, restless leg syndrome, okay, maybe it's real. But do you know the side effects of that medication? I'm not lying. If you think I am, look this up. See if I'm lying about the side effects of restless leg syndrome. The two prominent side effects are uncontrolled sexual urges and uncontrolled urge to gamble. I just picture some guy in a riverboat going, yeah, baby, come on. What kind of side effects are those? But for instance, sir, how you doing? Very distinguished looking gentleman here. How you doing, sir? Are you from Carmel? Okay, sir, you're acting like you're going to lie to me, but that's okay. Apparently I look like a person who would stalk you, but he took way too long to tell me that, didn't he? And you're from Scienceville, sir, and then how'd you get invited to this big shindig here?
Because I wouldn't miss it. It's a great venue, and I used to live in Carmel.
You used to live in Carmel?
And we live in between Carmel and Scienceville.
Oh, you're moving now as you're talking to me, is that right, sir? Wasn't he just in Scienceville a moment ago? And now, during the course of the conversation, he's moved closer. So I tried to wear contact lenses before. I couldn't do it. I'm just too big of a baby. Anybody else with me on this? I'm a baby. I tried it, but I couldn't do it. It took me an hour and a half to put one contact lens in my eye. I apparently have the strongest eye muscles in the world. Since that time, I bet you I've had a dozen people who wear contact lenses that tell me, well, you know what you should have done, idiot. I'm like, what? Well, you should have put it on your finger and come from the side. How oblivious would I have to be for my own finger to sneak up on me? Where did that come from? People really believe it, too. They think that's the right thing to do. That's the way you do it. Huh? Kids? Anybody have kids? Children? You have children at all? Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing. You're not quite as much clapping there. Clapping out. Here's what I have. I have a grown daughter, and here's how stupid I am. She grew up and moved away. I'm like, okay, I accomplished that, and then I got remarried and started all over again with a stepdaughter. That is difficult. And you know what? Things change so dramatically from the time my daughter was little to the time my stepdaughter was little. Maybe you guys can help me out. Whatever happened to those $119 metal swing sets? Remember the ones we had when we were kids? You swung too high, the whole damn thing tipped over. Where'd those go? They don't have those anymore, do they? It's the big wooden jobs. Have you priced those swing sets? They're like, what, $2,000 for a swing set? And you know kids. Here you go, here's a swing set. They're like, I'm done. No, you're not. No, you're not. $2,000, you'll swing all night long. Come on. I want to see splinters, those little fingers. Let's get busy out there. Oh my, what a nice crowd you guys are. It's so we're people with married people with kids and homes and dogs. You got dogs? I have a dog. Anybody have a dog? I have I have a lab. Anybody else lab? Yeah, I have a meth lab. So I got a German Shepherd to protect that, Joe, because that's a valuable thing there. Labs are pretty wacky, aren't they? When they grow up, when they're puppies, they're kind of whacked out. They're into everything, and they're very smart, though. Before this dog, I had a Lhasa Apso. Anybody here with a Lhasa Apso or ever had a Lhasa Apso? Is yours smart? She's dead. That pretty much cuts down on the IQ right there. That whole death thing just... Come here, boy. They just never do they? And probably still smarter than the one I had. That's the thing. My dog was 13 years old and not totally housebroken. I don't even know how this is possible. But, I think what it was is because my wife and I so totally disagreed on how you housebreak a dog. When I was a kid, the way we learned it was pretty simple. If a dog peed on the floor, what'd you do? Walk over there, rub their nose in it, spank them on the little butt. My wife's like, don't you hit a little dog like that. Don't ever do that. What do I do? Well, if he pees on the floor, just tell him, no, walk him up, pick him up, walk over, and put him outside. I'm like, well, okay. Well, here's what this little dog of mine would do. He'd sit in my family room looking out the door. I know what he was thinking. Hey, there's a squirrel out there. Let's go out there and chase him. I guess I could get up and walk all the way across this big room here and ask to go outside. Or I could just pee here on the floor and have a bitter idiot carry me out. With a human ski lift in my own home. That's right. Save that lift ticket. You'll need it later, pal. That was my only job with the little Lhasa Apso dog. We lost him last year, 13 years old when we lost him, and took 5 trips to the country in a blindfold, but we did it. So he's not. This time he's not coming back. I'm sure this time he's not coming back.